Oklahoma Joe's Rider DLX 1200 pellet grill unboxing and assembly. Now, a lot of you know that I've already had the original Generation 1 Rider DLX pellet grill. I actually named it the War Machine, and it was a workhorse around this place for a long time. That pit certainly cranked out a lot of top-notch barbecue. So grab some tools, Cliff. We're gonna amplify some backyard barbecue fun. Now, the unboxing went pretty dang simple. The boys didn't struggle one bit, and they even got to use some sharp instruments. Grab a screwdriver. We're gonna attach that controller. We'll open up our hopper. Before we can put this on, we're gonna have to remove this styrofoam, get this pulled back, and still leave it on the bottom to hold up the pit. And warning, do not grab the pellet release to move this pit around. We'll get our wires kind of tucked in, and now just slide on the controller, get our first one in, and line up the holes a little bit, wiggle it around and get the other two in. Take your screwdriver, tighten them up. You don't have to put a ton of torque on them, just get them snug. Your next step, take out those heat shields right above the fire pot. Make sure you get all three pieces out. Now we gotta flip it up on its side. Close up your top lid carefully, and also your hopper. Grab a piece of foam, and we're gonna pick the hopper end up. And we'll put our foam on this side. That foam out. And now we'll just tilt it up right in the air. Make sure you grab that hopper lid so it doesn't slam open. And then we're gonna spin it 90 degrees so we can see putting on the legs. Grab your pellet bucket mount and this cord wrap. That's gonna go on the left-hand side. You're gonna need 4 C's, and these line up pretty simple. We'll start with this top left one, get that one started. Just finger tight, and then we'll get the top right-hand one started and just finish up the last two. Then take your screwdriver and get them nice and snug. Grab your probe compartment box. Now, they also have the instructions for the 900, but on the 1200, you need 4 C's. You want this little moon part to go up against the hopper, and here's where your little probe tools are gonna stick in. And we're gonna start on the bottom because that's the easiest ones, just so we can hold this. And then we'll get our top 2 in, and you might have to kind of wiggle it around a little bit to get it started, but you'll get it. Then take your screwdriver and snug them up tight. Next step, let's put on our casters. And I really like how all the wheels are rubber coated now. Get it lined up, get it started, and just screw them on. And repeat with the other one. What do you think, Ernie? Is it going good so far? Now, after you get the casters on, it's time to assemble them to the pit. I'm gonna let the boys do that part. They just slide on simply, then you're gonna grab 2 of the B screws and start screwing them right in. And just get them finger tight because we still gotta put on the bottom shelf. Now, you gotta install these 2 legs. Same thing, just go ahead and slide them on and get your screws in. Now grab your shelf and put this label towards the hopper. You're gonna need 4 E-bolts and 4 A nuts. You'll take it and get it up in there and start lining up the holes. Get the bolt through and line it up. And then just repeat with the remaining 3. Now grab a crescent wrench and a screwdriver and get them nice and snug. Now that the shelf is all locked down and tight, let's go ahead and tighten up the top of those legs. Now grab your stationary wheels, and I'm really excited that these are rubber coated. I liked the old wagon wheel style, but these are gonna be way better for moving around in your garage or on your patio. You'll also need your washer and a cotter pin. Just grab your wheels and slide them on the pegs. Then put on your washer and your cotter pin. Now, for all of you that are doing this off the floor, you got it a lot easier than we're gonna have it. We're just gonna slide it out and start tipping it forward. And be ready, because this is gonna be heavy. One thing I'll tell you, it certainly moves a lot easier with these wheels. I mean, this almost moves like a skateboard. Good job, Oklahoma Joes. Now we're gonna take our tool rack and our side shelf and we'll put them on. Now on your toolbar, you wanna make sure that the big hook is facing in. Get it up like that. This just helps it so your tool will come off easier. And we just simply Hook it right onto here. Then you'll grab 2 D washers and 2 C screws. Wiggle it around a little bit and get them nice and tight. And then just repeat on the other side, and then you can snug them up tight with the screwdriver. Repeat with the side shelf the same exact way. Put on our handle for the lid, and these are already pre-tapped. And I always like to start off with putting a screw right through it, because it makes it a little easier when you're gonna line it up. Get that one in right away. Then take your screwdriver and put a little torque on them. Grab your 2 stacks, and these go in, up through the chamber. So we'll open up our lid, and the curved part goes towards the back. Grab them, slide them up in, and once you get them up through, you can just hold them on the outside, and then those are also tapped, so you can just go ahead and put in your screws. And then take your screwdriver and get them nice and snug. Now grab your rain caps, put them on top of the stack. Grab your ash cup, and we'll put that on, and if you never had a pellet grill with an ash clean out, you're gonna like this feature for sure. Just screw this on, and I only would get this about finger tight, because if you really lock it in, it's really hard to get off. Now grab your rear hanger hooks, and these are a nice little feature because now we can hang our racks in the back of the pit. They just hook right on, take a screw, get it tightened up. And one nice feature is that they actually swing, so you can put them up nice and tight against the chamber. Now grab your 3 heat shields and let's get them in. Now when you place this in, make sure that this arrow goes and matches up with this arrow. And then there's a couple catches and pegs. Get them lined up and it'll fit in perfect. Then on the top one, you have a couple notches, and you'll line that up, and that just lays on top into these 2 notches. And then just grab your heat shield and put that in. And that just goes right over the top. Now grab your heat distribution plate and your grease tent. This is grooved out to fit the fire pod, and there's 2 notches. Get that in. Same thing with the grease tent. Just go right up along the fire pot. Now we'll grab our cast iron grates, and these things have got some weight to them, and that's awesome. Obviously this is cut out for the circle part, so this one goes on the right, and this one goes over on the left-hand side, and finally we'll put in our middle grate. And that one we just put right in the center. Now grab your middle and your top shelf, and I really like how they designed this pit. You have all these different cooking levels, so you can adjust it for the type of protein you're putting in the pit. Just take them, get them in, and these aren't gonna come off. That's nice and sturdy. And we'll put this top one on. A really cool feature on the Rider DLX is the pellet dump. You just grab your pail and slide it right underneath. You don't leave that underneath the pit when you're cooking. You use this fancy tool to pull out those cast iron grates. We'll just hang her right on and let her sit. Grab your dual grease pails and hang them underneath. This one hangs right here, and we hang this one right there. This is the last thing that we actually have to bolt in. This is your sear or smoke handle. You want to put it in with this groove up, slide it right through, get it hooked in, and take 2 C nuts and then just get them in right up through the bottom. And then take your screwdriver and tighten them up. Grab the lever, and this is how you adjust it to smoke or over to sear. The Rider DLX has a location for 4 meat probes. They send you 2, so you got a good start. And this just sits right in this nice little tool tray. You slide it right in, and you even got a little handle for quick access. So there's our assembly on the Rider DLX 1200 pellet grill. The next time you see me on the Rider, I'm gonna be doing the burn off and a walk around review. I'm pretty pumped up to get back on this pit. They've done some improvements, and I'm excited to see how it runs. Well, that's all I got. Roll it. Always need to just wait and ask. Say, Daddy!
Daddy! Daddy!
Make sure I don't have no plumber's crack.